race because they have to steer the boats and have to have responsibility for that.
Now we're looking at the men's Cascade Cup right now. The second Varsity 8 for all these schools involved. Cornell in lane 1. The Washington unit in lane 2. Lisa Caldwell, the coxier for the Husky men. Dartmouth will be set up in lane number 3. First trip to the West Coast for the Big Green during the regular season in 8 years. And again, the Oregon State men involved here. Steve Todd with his group in this second Varsity 8. How fast can they go? And who will get there first underway here in the Men's Cascade Cup?
A little choppier out here at the start, and that makes for a little bit harder lining up and a little bit more difficult for the coxswains in their steering. Washington and Oregon State getting up a few seats here right off the bat. You can see a lot of power coming out of that Washington crew. They're getting a lot of power per stroke. Got good, powerful swing. They're just moving out, it seems like, a foot per stroke.
And this second Varsity 8 boat last year, like all of the Washington boats, won a Pac-12 title and gold at the IRA National Championships. They went 5 for 5, both the Pac-12s and the national event. That's difficult to do, to sweep all those races.
That's amazing. That is just a really amazing accomplishment. And a lot of credit goes to Michael Callahan and his coaching of the entire team and the success that they're able to achieve.
And to talk about that 5 for 5 at the Nationals, this is the first time it happened since the IRA started hosting 5 events at their national championships. Varsity 8, second Varsity 8, the Varsity 4, the Freshman 8, and the Open 4. And Washington swept them all. And you see here the Huskies out to the lead. Lisa Caldwell, sophomore civil engineering major, had a super freshman year. Last year, she coxed the men's Freshman 8 to some big titles, Windemere Cup, Pac-12s, and again, gold at Nationals.
A lot of power here in that Washington boat. They're just still moving out at about 600 meters in here.
And again, a lot of folks new to rowing would wonder, you've got a woman coxing the guys here, just about ability, not about sex of the leader in the boat.
That's right. I mean, absolutely. There's not a big difference between coxing or coaching men and women, but it's another opportunity.
Max Mannisto, 6'4", senior out of Belmont, California. He's the stroke, and he's got international experience as well. A lot of these rowers we'll talk about in some of these big events do. He stroked the U.S. Cox 4 to silver at the Under-23 World Championships in Lithuania last summer. Not able to crack the Varsity 8, though, for Washington. That tells you all about the depth of this Washington unit.
That does. It's exactly. It's all about depth. And the more depth you have, the more push you have to that very top level in the varsity boat.
In Washington, under the guidance of Caldwell.
Wow, look at that crowd.
See them all across the Montlake Bridge as the boats start to head towards the cut. Oregon State there, far left of your screen, dueling with Dartmouth, as Washington has the lead right now. Cornell in second, but those last 3 boats grouped together right now. They may be racing for second place with the Huskies having the upper hand.
Well, you can look at Washington on that view there, and you can see how good clean their blade work is. The oars are all parallel. It really indicates how well they're moving together. And rowing's a pretty unique sport. You have to be able to put on all that power and all that explosiveness at exactly the same time together. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
And Washington the lead. Oregon State on the outside looking to make a push. Cox Eric Sumner, just his second year as a rower. Like a good portion of some of the squad Oregon State recruited off campus to get into rowing. He has a ski and snowboarding racing background. Coaches at Oregon State like his attitude and toughness, and helping to push Oregon State here to the battle with Dartmouth. Cornell in second, but it's all Washington right now here in the second Varsity 8 race, the Men's Cascade Cup.
You can see again the water is a little bit rougher. The coxswains are really struggling with their courses, and there's a lot of advantage to being out ahead and controlling the race. A lot of some blades splashing around, but once you're ahead, then you don't have a chance of anybody running into you like that other race we saw.
Well, Washington headed for the home stretch, and that crowd starting to rise as they get close to the bridge. Mary Whipple understands what it's like to be in the thick of the race as we check in with her with another report.
This is the last 500. This is where anything can happen. The coxswain is preparing them to take those athletes to the sprint. The rowers are feeling pretty fatigued because it's a full 2,000-meter race. This is the last quarter of this race. And this is the big decision time. Do they have enough? Are they going to make it? And the answer has got to be yes. They have to back up their teammate. This is a full team sport. No timeouts, no breaks. They have got to believe in their race plan, believe in each other to get to that finish line first.
Mary, thanks. Seems like Lisa Caldwell has everybody in line, and with this advantage here, they can continue pouring on and trying to hit the finish line at full rhythm.
Yeah, they're really pushing. You can see when you try to take the stroke rate up at the end of the race and your legs are dead, you really have to swing your body to get that momentum to accelerate that blade through the water to get that stroke rate up.
And a sub 6-minute time for Washington, hitting the line at 5:59.7 and celebrating the W. Even after that 200-meter sprint, able to get it done. You see Cornell there in second, and Oregon State able to nip Dartmouth there for third in the Men's Cascade Cup. On now to the highlight races, the Windemere Cup for the Varsity 8s. Ready to go here from Seattle. Up next on Pac-12 Network.